Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode on the Just Create SMP with me, Throwlash. In the last episode, we got all of this done, all this automation and processing that's behind me all set, and oh my gosh, it's the best system ever. I can't wait to do more. Not only that, but we set up a little bit of tree farms. I might have done this off camera, honestly. I don't honestly remember. These aren't permanent. They're not going to stay. I just need stock for the tree shop, to be perfectly honest. And as you can see, we've been running some of the automation, so our cobble farm is trying to catch back up with everything we've been doing. Now, we got a whole bunch of automation done. This is absolutely fantastic. However, there's a lot that we need to do before we are able to say goodbye to spawn area and go to our more permanent home. And I have it all right on here on this to-do list. We got the woodshop decor, our hab unit decor, the lab outside, and then the hab unit surroundings. Now, the lab outside, what I mean is like this stuff here, I need to fix these up. They look horrendous right now. And ooh-wee, I gotta connect to the lake. And by the way, if you haven't watched, Foxy did this lake. Look how beautiful this is. Got some boats, some shipwrecks, which I believe have been checked for Romans. There are none in there. And yeah, it's just unbelievably incredible. I want to go ahead and connect myself to the lake, maybe even put a boat down in here. I'm not entirely sure yet, but man, spawn is shaping up beautifully. And I think I'm the last one to leave, so I want to get done today and get the heck out of here. And I think to do a lot of the outside stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and do a live stream. So if you want to watch, it's twitch.tv/throwlash_, and I'll see you folks in just a little bit when we're done with the live stream. And oh my goodness, look at this place now. Wow, that is so much more connected to the terrain around it. I am in love with the progress. Now, I got most of this done in the live stream. I got a lot of the plots set up in order to put the crops in, and the rest of the crops and the rest of it, I just had to do off camera. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, and I went ahead and I built up some of this forest here, so it looks like it was just forest the whole time. But man, oh man, am I happy with this. I think it looks fantastic, and I think it makes sense. We'd plop a little habitation unit down here. We'd have a whole bunch of farms that are farming things for us for the hab unit, and then our power here, and then underneath this hab unit, we would have our little lab where we experiment on this, that, and the other thing, and, you know, try and grow some other stuff. Now, there's only a couple other things that I want to do to get ready, to get this outside area ready, excuse me, and finished, and that is I want to connect this path all the way down here, past this here. Oh, no, sorry. All the way down here in front of the bees, past the sniffers, kind of snake between the tree farm, Eggs' little tree farm there, and then come around over here and connect up with this path. And I think that's the route that I want to take, because I don't think there's another accessible route. There's not. So that does mean we're going to have to go through this stuff here, but that's okay. We can just walk around it. It's not a big deal. We could probably even come through under the trees. Yeah, maybe we'll do that instead. But that is the last thing that I want to do to get our outside area finished. I think it looks absolutely fantastic so far. And after we're done with that, I think what I want to do is tackle the hab unit itself, because we still don't have a place to live. I mean, there's literally holes in the floor. You know, we can't live here. Just want to come over here and see what this path is cooking with. So it looks like coarse dirt, rooted dirt, jungle planks, and mud. All right, that's good. We can do most of that stuff right now. The only thing we don't have is the mud, so I'll just have to go and purchase some from Chosen. All right, got our boxes of mud, and speaking of purchases, let's go see if we've made any. Hey, Dalian, how you doing? What do we got? We got 5 whole diamonds. Heck yeah, that's super dope. Thanks, buddy. Wish you told me what somebody bought, but that's okay. So I'm gonna turn on the old shuffle mod and just dig out in a little area here where I think this path should go, and yeah, we'll place this down. I'll get back to you guys when I'm done. And with that, I think we're just about done. Now, this didn't turn out exactly like I thought it was going to, but it works, and this path is looking pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. It comes down over here next to the sniffers, winds its way between the pond here and the exit's back door, snakes around these power poles, or actually, the path goes straight through the power poles, excuse me, and then just connects right up over here, and I think that is looking pretty fantastic. Now, there's only one more thing that I want to do on this path, and that is just add a couple of little splotches of grass here and there, just because I feel like this always looks better with just a little bit of grass on it. Paths go from unbelievably flat to having just a little bit of life in them, and I think it really just adds so much. Yeah, just that little tiny itty bitty bit of green there really just adds, and that texture, love it. But that is the hab unit surrounding decor done. So now we just need to do the hab unit itself, and then all the stuff out here, and I should really come up with what I want to decorate this place with, because once the tree farms are gone, I'm not really entirely sure. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a plan, and it got a little screwed up because we're trying to get all the machinery away from spawn, like active machinery. This is gonna be shut off most of the time, but the tree farms definitely need to go. But once they go, I'm not really sure what to put down here. So, hey, if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. Let's clean up though, we'll put some stuff away, and we'll get started on the hab unit itself. Now, I think the first thing I want to do in here is maybe change this out. I don't know yet. I'm gonna swap this, I'm gonna tear it down, we'll swap it out, and then we'll see how it looks. And I might do something a little bit similar to what we have downstairs, except just not a gray box. Yeah, look at that, it's looking more cozy already. Just don't have that metal cage here now. Now, I can do what we did downstairs and put the door here. I could try it here, but I don't think it's gonna open if I do that. I don't even know if it's gonna let me do this. All right, let's try that and open this up, and it's probably gonna look a little weird, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, it's not gonna open by itself, which might not be a terrible thing, I gotta be honest, but I do really want the door to open by itself. So here's what I was working with, right? Here's what I was thinking, is if we had a copycat pressure plate on here, we just walk onto it and wait for the elevator. But I think it's fine. Whoops. But I think it's fine just right here. I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, I think that's fine. So then when we want to get on the elevator, we just stand here, and here it comes. Isn't that cool? So let's slam that all the way down to the lab. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. If I just walk by it on accident. Okay. Woo, wee. Just completely ignore that happened, huh? Yeah, so we send it all the way down to the lab, and we stand here, and it just takes a little while, and it should bring itself. There we go. All the way back up. Cool. All right, that's not terrible. All right, next, I think I want to do some tough pillars here this way. And I think maybe we have a door going over here, and we make this into a room, perhaps. Can also just go full tough pillar block here, and then just continue on. I just don't want to cover up this window, essentially, is what I'm doing. Just gotta head down to the lab for a second and get some stripped spruce. Oh my gosh, this place, it's so handy. Having this place set up is so handy. And we're gonna just continue this up like so, and these will be our walls. You know, another thought I'm having is perhaps we just remove this and have this be a hallway, and we can just continue this sort of this way. We might bring it all the way to the wall, or we could just cut it off there. Do know one thing, I want to swap out this bottom layer with this tough pillar. Yeah, makes that match just a little bit more. Now that's interesting. It's interesting, it's uniform, and I think with a hab module like this, it would have to almost be uniform, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna build hundreds of these, and they have to, you know, get these out as quickly as they can and not spend a ton of money off of them, or on them, excuse me. So, I don't know, I feel like it makes sense for them to be uniform. Either that or I'm just coping really hard right now. Okay, welcome to the newly renovated hab. Isn't this fantastic? I am actually, I kind of like the layout, I'm not gonna lie. So you get out, let's see, you get out of the elevator, you're like, ooh, isn't this fantastic? So we're gonna have a little kitchen-esque, a little kitchenette, if you will, right here, and then a little seating area, a little hangout area. Over here is going to be our bedroom. Nice big old open bedroom. We'll get a bunch of stuff going on in there. I have another side room here that I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with yet. Might make this some sort of library or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe an office. And then in here is like just a little a little closet, a little back area that nobody should ever go in. And I also brought the spruce wood up here in the stairwell, and I really like it a lot. And I think up here, I've got a couple of plans for up here. We're not worried about this right this second. I do have a couple of plans for up there, though. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to start working on first, to be perfectly honest. I feel like I should do the bedroom. I don't know. So I'm rethinking these here being copycat panels, and really the main reason is because I can't decorate. I can't put any decorations on this side, right? So like if I wouldn't be able to put anything, whoop, that was a bad example. It's over here. These are panels. All right, I can't put anything here. Look at that. Yeah, it's got to stay away from the wall. So what's the point? You know what I mean? So I just might as well just make them real walls, I guess. Now that one I kind of understand because that's a super awkward space. All right, yeah, we're gonna put this one back. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, and that really only ruins this section, which I can't put anything on anyways, so I'm not super worried about that one. And I think this goes to the elevator. It sure does. So yeah, there might be some of these that we're just a little SOL on. So 1, 2, 3. You know what? I'm gonna try it and see if I hate it, and if I do, guess what? We can just tear it out. And you know, honestly, I don't. It gives the room a little depth. It gives the room a little bit of difference. Right? Yeah, I don't hate that at all. We're definitely going to keep it this way. Kitchen. All right, for our kitchen, I'm thinking maybe we have some sort of food preparation place kind of over here-ish. And I was thinking blast furnaces and a smoker. And then for the actual countertops, I was thinking about polished deep slate. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. For some reason, I feel like I want the furnace to be up one. And then maybe we put a basin or like a double cauldron right here. I mean, that is nice. I do like that. Yeah, I think I like the basins a little bit better. Yeah, let's go with that. And then we're gonna go with the classic powered rail being our like cooktop, which means we should be able to put anvils up on top as a hood vent. That's perfect, and I'll have to do something with the top of it here. All right, this is shaping up pretty well so far. And there's something that I want to try here, and I'm not entirely sure how to do it or how it's gonna work. Oh, I need one more thing. Okay, so I think the trick is you put a sign down and then an item frame behind it, and then in the item frame, yes, something like that. Okay, and it kind of looks like drawers, right? Or like cabinets. Yeah. Unfortunately, not going to be able to do that here. Maybe we try it instead with jungle. Okay, I think that's the way we want to go here. Nice. Put a lever there for water, and there we go. We got some water in there as well. And do we just use chutes? Yeah, I think that'll work fine. And this is classic kitchen right here. Classic Minecraft kitchen. You just have a couple of barrels as like your cabinetry. All I want to do is use the new pale oak. It's the new hotness, so it's all I want to use. All right, nice. I think this is shaping out pretty well for a nice little kitchen. I like this so far. And actually, I think I'm gonna swap that furnace out for the old classic iron trap door refrigerator. Yeah, fantastic stuff. I'm gonna pull that smoker from there as well, and I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the furnace and the smoker out over here, and then on the back here we'll have like a little breakfast nook of sorts, right? And that should still give us the ability to do the little item frame trick here. And I want to put another little grill top thing here and a piece of string, so that way we can get 2 more anvils up for hoods. Oh, and the chutes are already in my pocket. So what that means is we add a little bit more chute action going on here, and those are our hoods there. Fantastic stuff. Amazing. So now all we have to do is add a couple of seats in here, and then just some general decoration, and our little kitchen nook area thingy is all set. And I think over here we might add like a dedicated dining room table. I think that should work. The other thing I was thinking is like a little seatery, just a tiny little sit down area. That could work as well. And I think over here, you know, I love me and I love my books and I love my libraries. We might have another little sit down nook over here with some library stuff going on. But let me grab some seats and some other things and we'll finish this place up first. Hold up. I completely forgot about these. Yep, I love these. Boop, boop, boop. You ain't got to do none of this stuff. You can put stuff on here. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about these. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, I love that. I need one more. That's dumb. Yeah, because then you just have somebody eating. And then, I mean, these are kind of weird because they're like almost floaty 3D. But hey, at least, you know, these are in here. They kind of Z-fight a little bit with this, but that's okay. I like these. These are cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm not gonna lie. It is shaping up pretty well in here. We've got some cool immersive paintings from my other series. I guess it's just one. It's Create Nations. Hey, folks, if you want to go check that out, it's my single player series, and it was a lot of fun. You know, I might go back to it at some point. But yeah, here's what we're working with, and I gotta be honest, I am in love with it. I think it's turning out pretty darn great. I gotta get a couple of things on the table, maybe some flower pots, some food, all that sort of stuff. Get my dirty feet off the table. That's what I gotta do. And we've got some more places for some more paintings, so we'll throw a couple of those up as well. Now, what I want to get on next is this little area here with probably a couple of bookshelves, I would imagine. Maybe a couple just sitting here with a little, maybe a little table here or something. But enough yapping, let's get to it. Now that's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. We have our little kitchen, a little sit-down, little eatery area thingy. We've got some lights going on, our paintings, we've got our little library nook, and I think I'm gonna skip out on the sit-down portion of that. If you want to sit down, you can sit down out here. You can watch the beautiful spawn town here while you read your book. I just want this to be open so folks can walk through. That's about it. Now, what do we do next? I could put a pantry in here, and I don't think that's a terrible idea. I gotta be perfectly honest. I'm not gonna be able to put anything on this wall, and that's totally fine. So we should be able to just line pantry-esque stuff up here and just kind of like skirt around the machinery. I think that'll work out great. Man, I feel like I should tackle the bedroom next. Yeah, maybe we do that. Pantry first, and then bedroom. Well, I got a little carried away because I'm watching Mr. Beardstone stream right now. I'm just kind of building while he's doing that. Anyways, we have the pantry all set. Look at this. You just walk in here, and it's just a little tiny pantry. Look at this. I can't put anything here because these are the copycat panels for the elevator. But yeah, it's a tiny little pantry. We've got some barrels. We got some stuffs. We got some things. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Nobody's ever going to go in there. It's totally fine. And I'm working on the bedroom right over here. We're going to have a little desk, and I'm having a problem with the desk because it's lined up with the wall, but it's not lined up with the window. So I might move it over. And the reason I might move it over is because right here, I think I want to put a dresser. And if I put one here, it might kind of like be in the way-ish, like a wardrobe sort of thing, right? And then on this side, we have just a little bed. Just got a little bed. And I gotta be honest, it's super basic, but I like it. I don't know. I'll probably put a painting up here. That should be totally fine and help out a little bit with the plain like oak look to it. But I don't know, I like it. I think it looks pretty good. Maybe what we'll do is we'll work on the wardrobe first and just see kind of how that's gonna look before we figure out what we're gonna do with this desk. And I can tell, yes, already, this needs to move over. Yeah, I think that's gonna work out much better. So we have our nice little wardrobe here, fantastic. And now we have a space where we can set down a seat for a little office. Nice. And I think a seat there will make it light blue, and then we'll put a little back on it, and we'll have like maybe a computer screen or something here. We'll try and make sort of something or other right there. Oh, you know what? Ooh, I could do some sort of immersive painting maybe here. And that's it. That's this room done. I think, you know, I found this online. It's just a cool little picture. And then we've got our keyboard here. Fantastic. And then, you know, just a bit of decoration. I can't get over this painting. It's the friggin' best. Just some better, you know, some decoration. Oh, I forgot about a painting here. There we go. Perfect. All right. That sets that perfectly there. And yeah, I think we're set with our bedroom now. That leaves one more room over here. So I think this back room is going to turn out really great as some sort of maybe sit-down area, sort of like a den. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice little bookshelf in here because I love bookshelves. You got to put bookshelves all over the place, you know what I mean? And I think maybe we do something like that. Unfortunately, I have a lot of books, but we'll get some more and put them in there. And then I think we'll just put a couple of seats around. Yeah, there we go. That's looking great so far. Just a little sit-down reading nook. I could probably get, ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. Give me a second. Guy just runs off after mumbling a whole bunch of nonsense. Cheapers, guys, I'm sorry. There we go, carpet. I was gonna say carpet. We need a carpet in here. Yeah, that's gonna look really nice. Ooh, I love that. Might have to change out the color of the seats, though. They're not too similar, so maybe that should work. And then I think over here, I might want a little tiny nook where somebody can have like a spare bedroom or just like a place to, like a day bed, essentially. Place to lay down, place to sleep, right? In case we need to have somebody over. And then I might put another desk over here in the corner. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yeah, nice desk here, maybe some shelving up here, little shelving up there, and we definitely need some sort of lighting. Yeah, we could put a lantern there, that's fine. Let's not forget our seat. Okay, it's coming together. We've got our shelving in, we have our little desk, and this is our nook. There's not much in it. I'll probably put a couple of pieces of carpet in here or something like that. I can't put anything on this line, but that's okay. And then I'm trying to decide on what I want to do here. I'm honestly thinking bamboo. I'm really thinking bamboo. That might be nice. And then up top here, we can put a couple other shelving units, mainly for decoration. That should be fine. I think I like that. I think. There's a part of me that wants to swap it out with the diorite of wood. What is that called? Birch. Cheers. Gosh. Yeah, there's a part of me that wants to swap it out with some birch. We might give that let's give that a shot and see how it looks. Yeah. Yes? No? No. Nope, I like the bamboo better. Yeah, I think I like that better, especially with these bamboo windows in there. I think that's looking pretty great. Just a nice little nook if, you know, somebody needs a little privacy, somebody's got to stay over. They can just take a sleepy... and I just set my spawn. Good job. And I gotta be honest, without any books, I just gotta put some books in. This room turned out pretty great. Again, I gotta fill out this with books. We got another computer over here. Yeah, this turned out really fantastic. And I put our to-do list just right here. So that's great. Again, more books, but yeah, this is turning out wonderful. And that is the entire floor of this hab unit complete. I just gotta grab all this stuff and bring it upstairs, and we gotta finish the upstairs portion. And then we'll be done with the hab unit decoration. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. I'm so excited. Actually, I think what I want to do next is tackle this area, because this is kind of what I've left for my server mates, and this isn't cool. This isn't cool. It's been a few weeks. This needs to be fixed. And I have a couple of things that I need to think about here on what exactly I want to do. Now see, there's a part of me that kind of wants to match what Foxy's going on here, so it's a little uniform, and I don't think that's a bad move. It's just trying to get it done correctly with things that I already have going on here, as well as not screwing up the inside of this. And I think we can get away with some copycat stuff to make it look nice. Now, another thing that I'm thinking about is taking this out a little bit more and having like a little stairway that connects. But first, we're gonna have to extend this out just a few blocks. I'm thinking maybe 3 blocks should be fine. Yeah, that should be good. And then we'll start the stairway around about maybe here or here. And for the surrounding bits, kind of what I was thinking is maybe, I don't know if this is gonna go, okay, it will go here. Something kind of like this. That will go around the side of it. For example's purpose, I'm going to make a little tiny bridge over here, and we can have that come up the side this way as well. And we might need copycat bites there. We just got to extend this out one. And then essentially what I'm thinking is we can do use the same blocks that Foxy did over there, just again to match aesthetic. And we can kind of give that sensation, that feeling of depth by just using these vertical steps like this. And then we'll have to do something on the side, maybe some panels, and we might be able to get away with panels there. And then what we can maybe do, see, that's not going to work with the copycat bites there, so we might have to just use bites in the corner pieces like this. And then we should be able to follow along this entire piece here. And this is where it's going to look a little odd, because now these are all going to be broken up with the polished texture. But you know, I gotta be honest, I'm not too horrendously worried about it. I don't really like it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I think that looks absolutely horrendous. I don't like that at all. Well, I've run into a bit of an issue. I was doing a little decoration, as you can see behind me, and I completely ran out of Azurine, but Chosen to the rescue. He sent us a waypoint that has a little bit of an Azurine deposit in it, so we're gonna go check that out. And oh my gosh, look at this place that Chosen has going on. Jeepers, these people are so talented. This is incredible. Looks like it's underground. I don't know if it's under the water here or where I need to go. Oh. It's in a big old tunnel. There we go. Thanks, Chosen. This is so appreciated. Oh my gosh. I'll take some of this calcite too. My goodness. Stuff is always in short supply. Now, if I was a smart throw, I would have brought my tunnel borer over here. But that's okay. We'll just spend a little bit of time mining up this stuff, and we'll get back to the project. And out of the mines, and oh my gosh, we got so much. Look at all this. We got 2 stacks of calcite as well, and then just regular redstone ore, which I feel like is a little bit rare. So, hey, that's fantastic. Let's go finish up this build. Hi, my name's Throwlash, and I keep getting carried away with decorating. Yeah, I did it again. Gosh, I do this all the time. Anyways, take a look at what we've got so far. We just have, you know, some plants and some basic decoration. I went ahead and I finished the platforms out here, and I put some decoration on them as well. I even have this thing that kind of snakes around down to the next platform, which will bring you over here, and then this platform that will bring you down to the dock itself. And it's just a little guy, you know, you sit here, you fish. You know how it is. But if we go ahead and we go into free cam, which I have turned the speed down, apparently. There we go, that's much better. Okay, so here's what we're working with so far, and I think it is pretty fantastical. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a couple things that I could maybe touch up, but I gotta be honest, for what it is right now, I think we're good with it. Head back inside my head. Let's go inside, and I'll give you a little tour here. We just got a little sit-down area. I haven't really done too much with this area down here besides put some extra lighting in, and I still need to put more lighting in because there's still a little bit of torch spam. I could probably drop this one, to be honest. But yeah, there's still a little bit of torch spam kind of all over the place, and it's just in the middle here, so I gotta think about how I can fix that. But so far, I am super duper happy with the way this place has turned out. So, and if we head up here, we just have some other basic decoration. I need more books. I always need more books. Little more basic decoration over there, and we also have these things just lining the edges here. I want to keep this space open just in case we have to run around to our different machinery, but it just came out so well. And one last little bit of decoration here. Let's see if I can hit this without getting on it. There we go. Is I put a floor here. So now if you know, get a little overzealous while you're running, you don't run through the floor. But there is one more thing that I want to do, and you can kind of already see up here what's going on. I'm going to tear this out, and I'm going to replace it with a window. And I gotta be honest, I don't really know how this is gonna work yet, so it's kind of a work in progress, I guess. I'm a little nervous on how this is going to turn out. I think it'll be fine, but we'll see. So what's going on is I have something that is 16 wide here, and it's either 8 or 9 tall. I can't honestly remember. So I am going to go ahead and tear all of this stuff out. I probably don't need to tear all of it out, but I'm one of those people that needs the space to work with here, or I just won't be able to eyeball it. And it's very easy to replace all this stuff anyways. And I got to figure out what color glass I want to use, and I either want to use cyan or maybe light blue. But what I think we're going to end up doing is just head over to Egg's place, and I think this is what we need. So we do this and then this, I think. I don't know, man. All right. So, oh no, I put all of my diamonds in there. Oh, I don't know how to do. Oh no, I broke it. Eggs, I broke it. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I got everything back that I needed to. So now we're trying this over here, and I don't know, man. I'm scared. I put 3 diamonds in it, and I put 3 stacks in it. So hopefully we get 3 stacks of dyed blocks. And there we go. 3 stacks of dyed blocks. That thing is still running, and I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just go back to what we were doing. You know, let's get some yellow as well. Why not? And I think I want to try this with the yellow first. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm using plots.co.uk to make an elliptoid. And I got to be honest with you folks, I'm really not good at this sort of thing. So bear with me. This is going to be horribly, horribly wrong. And I've done it wrong already. Okay, I think I'm getting this now. All right, so we've got our outline in, and then we need to do the next stage in, which is going to start here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this thing wraps around, and I did it wrong again. Okay, these come out 4, and then this comes over 2, comes over 3 actually, lines up with this. Okay, that's in now. That's good. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's finally in. Jeepers, that took way too long. Now, it's not gonna stay like this. Don't worry, I'm not gonna keep it just like this giant weird yellow glass eyeball thing. I'm gonna put a trim around it with Viridium, kind of a lot like we did here, except I'm not gonna have the diorite base. The whole trim is gonna be Viridium, and I think it'll look pretty cool. The frog lights aren't staying, they were just kind of marking the middle for me, so I think it'll look pretty neat. And then, unfortunately, I have to replicate it on the other side, and I'm not looking forward to that, but that's okay. I might be able to take a schematic of it, because this took this is way too difficult for me. I don't know why either. It was so hard. And the other thing that I want to do is just dig out the inside of this thing as well, and I want to blast it straight through the side of this cliff. Right as I put the blast block in, this guy spawns. What do we got? Rooted dirt. Oh, Nautilus shells. That's not too bad. But did nothing in there that I really need. Sorry, bud. Thanks anyways. No, nothing. I guess, you know, just... Well, with distractions out of the way, this is what we're working with so far, and it's obviously, it's not done. It's not done yet, but it is getting there, and I had to turn the vanilla tweaks thing off for the connected textures just so I could put the glass in correctly. And oh, I'm missing glass on the inside because I had to get inside of it. And actually, let's go back inside, because I want to rip out this bottom piece and also I think the top piece as well, and we're gonna fill it with frog lights. So the next thing we need to do is just encircle this thing in slabs, and I'm pretty sure slabs is the way I want to go. I gotta be honest, I'm not 100% sure. It might be better with something like panels, but we're gonna try slabs and see how it goes here. And then what we're gonna do from there is we're gonna just place these in here, and I'm hoping the shuffle mod, it certainly does. We're just gonna place these all in here, all these different types of iridium as a nice outline. And yeah, that looks halfway not terrible. It's kind of a shame you can't see the top of it, but I do like all the greenery up there still. And if we, ooh yeah, look at that ambient glow on the outside. That looks pretty cool. Now that white isn't going to be there around the outside of it. It'll be that Viridium that we just placed. But yeah, that looks pretty darn cool. You know, it doesn't fit with the Viridium there. It doesn't fit. Maybe we do keep the outside the limestone? Maybe we do that. I do like the bands. I like the bands coming down. I like the little hole in the center. I do like that. But the rest of it's too much. So maybe if I shave off these pieces and keep them as the limestone. Let me give that a shot. Okay, that's better. That's definitely better. I think it's a little too... like the Viridium just kind of starts. So I might put like a little piece there and there, just to flare it out a little bit. Let me give that a shot. All right, it's still not 100%, but it's definitely better. I'm thinking maybe it needs like a Viridium lip around it now, but I feel like that might also be too much. Ugh. Yeah, because now it's just a little stark, right? It's like, here's this Viridium here. Let me do the inside and I'll sleep on it, I think. Yeah, in here, I think it looks so much better, and that's mainly because it's got all the stuff around it. It's still a little stark and different, like it's still kind of out there, but I don't know. I like it. Maybe it's the yellow that's throwing me off. Like I said, I'll sleep on it and I'll come back to it. Well, I slept on it, and the solution was swap it out for white glass. that was the solution. It looks way better. I gotta stay away from those saws. I wish that I could make this work properly, and I just can't. But the solution was just swap it out for white glass, and on this side, it still looks a little weird. Honestly, it kind of looks a little too strange. I think maybe Viridium going around the outside here wouldn't be a terrible idea. But I also think just surrounding it with a little bit of foliage will look really great as well, and maybe have some leaves draping down. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. But oh my heavens, I am so happy with this. I think this came out absolutely fantastically. And there's really only one more thing that I'd like to do right here for this area, and the rest of it we'll handle a different day once I set up an actual tree farm, a permanent tree farm. We'll change out this underground area. And again, if anybody has anything, you know, you think I should put down here, just let me know. I might consider it. Man, I swear, sometimes the hardest part between projects is just getting your inventory sorted back into a workable condition. Oh my gosh. Cough, backpacks, cough. Yeah, that makes it look much better. much better. Oh man, that ties it in perfectly. I am super happy. I'm so glad I changed it out for the white glass, and then adding that little bit of foliage in there really pulls it together. Now, what we're gonna do next, as I just casually accidentally take a screenshot, is this. We gotta finish this area up here, and I've got all my boxes. I don't think I'm gonna need all of them. I definitely am going to need this one though, because up here we're going to put a little bit of some sort of water experimentation thing. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna start it about here, and we'll shoot for 7 wide. Maybe we go 6. Maybe we'll do a 6 by 5. I don't know. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this one. And we're gonna do something kinda-ish, sorta kinda-ish like this. I don't know. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing here. Now, some of this we are going to swap out with some sand. And I'm thinking, ooh, actually, we might connect these. And then we can maybe throw some other slabs around as well, just to give a little bit of height differentiation, variation sort of stuff. And that way we can also put stuff on here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of this should be sand. Some of it should be slab. And the main reason for this is I don't really want this to be too high. I don't want it to be too tall. I'm thinking max like 2 blocks, right? And this bottom layer here, I want to come in with some industrial iron slabs. Wow, literally perfect amount. That's incredible. We're going to break these up a little bit with some weathered iron because, you know, it's going to be a lot of water. Round off with the vertical steps. And I want to come in with copycat panels as the actual glass piece here. And I don't know if I want them to be clear. I am struggling with this, I gotta be honest, because what's really nice about having them be clear is you can see directly into this, but having some sort of tinted glass might be kind of nice. I definitely don't want to do tinted glass, you know, the actual tinted glass itself, but with the Vanilla Tweaks thing that I have, it doesn't look like there's glass here at all, which could be cool. It definitely could be cool, but let's fill it up with some water first. Now that the water's in, I want to run just a tiny little trim of a copycat slice around the edge on the top as well. And then to tie the whole thing together, we're going to put a nice little vertical slice in here. And fantastic stuff. We have our little pond thing, I guess. But I am going to swap out some of the sand with these coral blocks. Because again, I want this to be some sort of like almost research facility-esque sort of looking thing. So we're just going to put a couple of pieces of coral here and there. I don't want anything too uniform. I think the coral, you know, like coral should be sitting next to each other. Kind of like so. And I understand that I don't have any of the red coral, and that's okay. I am okay with that, because having a little bit of sand in here is totally fine. I would like one of each type of coral as well. And then if I can, oh yeah, I would like some fans over here too. That's perfect. And then just with a little bit of lanterns, I think I might swap this guy out for a shaft just to make him look a little bit differently. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. I do like that. And with a couple of potted bushes and a handrail here so we don't accidentally fall down the stairs, that is this place done as well. And I think if we head down over here, go into our office and snag our to-do list, that is the Hab unit decor and the lab outside decor all done. So at this point, there's only one more thing I think that I would like to do today, and that is put what I want to put right here. So let me just get all of my crazy stuff out once again. And here we go. This should be the last row. I've just got to line everything up correctly. I think this one goes there. It sure does. And then Beardy Power Co. This over here, and then the mountain as our last one. Look at this. Look at our spawn town here. Isn't this gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. We've got my little Hab unit over here. We've got, oh, it's missing DeJojo's stuff. Oh no. All right, so we're gonna have to extend out by 1 back here, but that's not a problem. And I like the brass table covers around the outside of it. The only issue is it's gonna make it flat. Like, I can't put any decoration in here, right? Like, I can put a cartography table there, but that looks weird. I don't want that there. You know what I mean? But I think that's okay. So what I gotta do now is I need to just take these out of here, and I gotta replace these with frog lights. And then we've just gotta glide ourselves outside of the borders of that map and right click on this one and swap to our other hand. Oh, we gotta make sure that we get that corner up there. There we go. And then we just gotta fly this way. Right click on this map, put it in our offhand, fly out of it, right click, put it in our offhand, fly out of it, and then bam. That should be all of the maps of Spawn Town completely done now. Go ahead and put that back, and then I think we go up here, 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 and here. Nope, those two are backwards. Those last two are backwards. That one there, and then this one here. There we go. That's right. Oh, look at that. Look at that stretch of no trees there. That's really funny. But ladies and gentlemen, if that's not screenshot worthy, I don't know what is. Oh my goodness. Let me just try and make that a little more straight there. Look at how beautiful that is. Spawn Town in map form is awesome. It's so awesome. That's so cool. Now, I've never really done something like this before. I gotta be honest. Oh, I am missing one piece here. There we go. As I was saying, I never really have done something like this before. I've never played in a world that had an area big enough to really like take a nice map of. And this is so cool. This is so nifty. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done. We're done. We're done with everything that we wanted to get done here at Spawn Town so far. This is a little surreal. This is a little crazy. And it all started out with this bus and this landing platform. Oh my gosh. Do you remember? Remember when we were living out of this? Incredible. Feels like it was yesterday. It was months ago. And then we upgraded to the hab unit, and I mean, I wanted to throw more decorations on it, but I gotta move on. We're running out of time with my own personal deadline. But look at all this surrounding, just beautiful, beautiful fields that we put in. This is just so wonderful. Again, we did this over on Twitch. Go ahead and give me a follow over there. Connecting our path up all the way down here through Eggs' base. Sorry, Eggs. We finally got our hab unit done here as an actual livable space, which I think turned out super wonderful. And our nice little gardeny, experimenty place upstairs. I think this was a great addition as well. Just adds to the, you know, maybe it's aquaponics or whatever the heck it's called, where you grow food with fish inside of it. I'm not putting fish in there. There's not enough room though. And although the lab's not 100% done, because we still have our tree farm in there, I think this came out super fantastic as well, with all the little decoration that we have all over the place. The downstairs, like I said, could use a little bit more, but we'll get there once we have a more permanent tree farm set up. And we definitely need more books. However, I think that this area turned out fantastic too. I don't feel bad having this here on the server, these holes in the side of my wall. I don't feel bad about it anymore. And I do really like this, now that it has all the stuff around it and it's got that white glass in there. I think that looks fantastic. But yeah, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with our Spawn Town projects. We can finally move on to our quote-unquote main base area. This has been the most fun and fantastic ride for the last 3 months. Thank you so much, folks, for coming along with me on this awesome adventure in the Just Create SMP Spawn Town. I cannot wait to show you what is next on the Just Create SMP. But before we go, I obviously have to send an absolutely massive shout out and thank you to my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons over at patreon.com/throwlash. Thank you so much for your support. It helps me do what I do. And yeah, I just thank you, everybody. It's unreal. I appreciate it a lot. But until next time, folks, my name is Throwlash. This is the Just Create SMP, and we will see you in the next awesome action-packed episode. Thanks. I love y'all. Bye.